Healing is an individual affair. Everyone does not heal at the same pace and in the same way. Just like people do not grieve in the same way and at the same pace. So this is something I have always had an issue with, when people tell you just to get over it when you're dealing with something that was considered traumatic to you, because there are different levels of traumatic as well, because again, people process things differently. So what may be traumatic to me may not be traumatic to you, because we have different life experiences. We have different life, things that we've been through in life, or different ages and different circumstances. So when people tell you to just get over it, those are, I don't want to call them toxic, but those are probably people that you don't need to be around at that particular time of your healing, because they're going to stunt that healing, so you have to do what's best for you and be around people that are going to be healing. Seek out people that are going to be healing and understanding, nurturing, or even just a listening ear. Sometimes you don't need anyone to say anything. You just, or other people just need someone just to listen sometimes, So when someone tells you just to get over it, you should be over it by now, that's not for them to say. It's for the person who experienced that traumatic event, or that event that sent them in particular through something. It's not for anyone else to say, so that's something I just wanted to talk about for a moment, because it's very insensitive, when people try to estimate or guesstimate or tell you what you should be doing as far as your mental state and your emotional state and spiritual state is concerned, because no one is living your experience except you, so it's very selfish, and we must be mindful not to do it to others, and we have to be mindful when others are doing it to us to realize what it is that we actually need. Okay, so take your time. Don't let anyone rush you into your healing. Get the help and support that you need from wherever you need it from. And that's something else as well. People want support from different areas as well. Everyone doesn't benefit from the same type of support. So you need to just seek out what it is that you need. Only you know what you need. Okay, some people want counseling from a stranger. Some people want to talk to a friend, a family member, their spouse, whatever that healing is. Some people like to listen to music. Some people like to retreat and just be by themselves. Whatever that healing is you need, do that, do that for yourself. And don't be a stumbling block for other people either, because when I was going through something and I realized that people weren't giving me the time that I needed to heal, I realized that in the past that I had done the same thing to others, so just be mindful of that as well. So yeah, this is a little something about healing and not allowing people to rush you through your healing process, and not rushing others through their healing process, and being understanding of the fact that everyone's process and forgiveness process is going to be different. And that's the second thing I wanted to talk about: forgiveness. You don't get to rush someone or tell someone the time frame to forgive you if you have offended them or betrayed them. And a perfect example of that is, a spouse or a significant other that has been unfaithful to you. You don't get to tell that person, oh, well, you just need to get over it. That is so extremely insensitive and dismissive of that person's feelings, of that person's traumatic experience, and what they're going through, especially if they choose to stay with you. That you have to give them some space, even though they forgave you and they choose to stay with you. That's something that they still have to deal with on a daily basis. They have to deal with triggering triggering events or statements that may come up, you know, that's never going to leave them. You know, you having done that to them, or them having done that to you, is something that's never ever going to leave you. It doesn't matter if you forgive something or forgive someone, and that's what people fail to realize. We are human beings. We have memories, okay, and we get triggered sometimes. You're going to get triggered. It doesn't matter how saintly you are, how much you've forgiven, how deeply you've forgiven and forgotten. It's impossible to forget. It's impossible to forget. And for me, I think it's foolish to forget, because if you forget, then you don't remember what that person is actually capable of. So you have to still kind of remember what you went through, so that you can see the signs, so that you can avoid going through that whole thing again. Like, if you see the signs in the beginning, you can do whatever you need to do at that time. But yeah, you know, I just wanted to take a second to talk about those 2 points about forgiveness and healing, and giving people the proper time and taking the proper time that it takes for you to actually deal and process with those things. So I want to thank you for watching. You all be blessed.